I keep seeing these type of workouts that are being marketed as fat loss workouts, like a ab workout that's going to target fat specifically in your stomach area. That's not how that works. There's no workout that is specifically targeted for fat loss. That's not how that works. And why that's harmful is because you have people that are doing these same fat loss workouts specifically, and they're not combining the nutrition to be in a calorie deficit in order to achieve that, and they're not losing fat, and then they're thinking that they're just effective. They're thinking like, oh, there's just something wrong with me, my whatever, which is not the case. Fat loss is very, very easy to understand in this way. The amount of calories that you burn at rest is called a basal metabolic rate. That combined with the activity that the amount of calories that you're burning from activity, so that equals a number. And whatever you eat has to be under that number. That's called a calorie deficit. Meaning, if you sit in a chair for 24 hours, your body will burn X amount of calories. Just beating your heart, pushing oxygen through your system, keeping yourself warm, thermogenesis, right? All these types of basic organ functions that you need in order to survive, right? That's unconscious. You don't think about doing it. Your body just does it. Let's just say for numbers, it's 2,000 calories, your basal metabolic rate, okay? Let's say you do 10,000 steps. Let's say that's 300 calories. All right, say you did a 45-minute workout. Okay, say that's another 300 calories. So total, you have burned 2,600 calories. So if you can find out exactly what that number is on a consistent basis, and you eat less than that number, then you will lose fat. If you do that consistently enough, then you will start to see some progress. Now, where people start to get messed up with it is you do a calorie deficit too severe, right? So you drop the calories from, like, you've been eating 2,500 calories for years, whatever, and then you're like, okay, I want to do a cut. I want to lose weight. All right, I'm going to cut out all the carbs, and I'm going to cut down to 1,800 calories, right? And I drop it severely. Your body doesn't have time to acclimate towards that, and it shocks your body. That's where all the fatigue, that's why you feel so irritable, you feel so tired. You haven't conditioned your body to slowly titrate the calories down enough, and it will shock your system, right? You have to do it in a slower amount, and you have to be able to track consistently what calories you're intaking. So, for instance, like a serving of sauce on a barbecue sauce bottle is 2 tablespoons, and in parentheses it has 30 grams or whatever, right? That's the weight of the liquid. Now, if you put a scale and you put your food and you did the serving size of that barbecue sauce on there, it would be enough to just put sauce on like 1 chicken nugget, okay? So nobody is using the correct serving size of barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce specifically has a whole lot of sugar. So we're talking 60 calories per serving size. So most people, without thinking, are using about 4 or 5 serving sizes of barbecue sauce. That's about, what, 240 calories just off the barbecue sauce alone. And you think that doing a HIIT workout, 45-minute, that's what you're gonna burn in your 45-minute HIIT class is 300 calories. And you just messed up, you know, your diet for the day because you had 2 blue cheeses on a salad. That's like 600 calories. Like eating it on a salad, it defeats the whole purpose. It doesn't make sense. But like most people just don't understand. They're not just not conscious enough reading labels, being able to weigh food. You know, you need somebody to kind of like teach you how to do that stuff, right? So I just see these workouts often, and people are like, "Oh, how do I get a tighter waist?" Like I'm gonna work my abs 5 days a week to get a tighter waist. That's not how that works. You can increase a muscle size of your abs. You can make them more defined with the same amount of body fat that you have by building the muscle of your abs. But having a tighter waist is simply being leaner. And you do that, you reveal your abs by being in a calorie deficit. And if you can do it slow enough, what also happens, why it helps to be more successful, because most people like do this all or nothing, and it puts you in this cycle, right? Like you get fed up with how you look or how you feel. You're like ready to go all in and put some effort towards it, and like you do this drastic diet change and like shoot for the moon, right? And like, I'm gonna work out 7 days a week, and I'm gonna do 10,000 steps, and I'm gonna cut out all carbs, and I'm not gonna, eat until 9 a.m. and I'm not gonna eat past 6 p.m. And you starve yourself basically, right? You do it too fast, you do it too drastic, and your body can't sustain it. It's not attainable, right? And what happens is one mistake that happens, and you get down on yourself, and you're like, well, fuck. All right, well, I'll just eat out this night or whatever. And when you make one mistake, you don't hit a workout, you get sick. One of your kids is sick, you can't go to the gym, or you had a snack because you were starving and craving sugar because you dropped your carbohydrates completely out of your diet, and then you have a sweet treat, and it like sets off this blood sugar response, and you start craving sugar even worse. All right, then you relapse on your diet, right? So then you go back to the old behavior. This is too hard, I can't do it. Then what happens, just like in recovery, you get down on yourself, you think you can't do it, you get frustrated, and the only thing that helps that feeling is you continuing to go back to the other lifestyle that you know. Even though you don't want to, but that's the only thing that alleviates the shame and the negative feelings from not being able to do the goal that you wanted to achieve, but you just didn't do it the way that was suitable for you specifically. You understand? So I say all that to say that if you can get an attainable, tangible program written out for you where there's no guesswork, somebody can do the thinking for you, you find out what your basal metabolic rate, your maintenance calories is, you find out how much calories that you're burning, you get a specific amount of a calorie count for that day, and then you kind of eat with some consistency and start getting some education around how to be able to eat more food with less calories, right? So you don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to feel like lethargic and having a headache and feeling like you don't have any energy and all these side effects that come with these drastic diets that are not sustainable, right? If you do it in the right way, then you're able to do it for a longer period of time. Any type of physique change has to come with consistency, and it can't be something that's like absolutely horrible that you're dreading. It's just, nobody's gonna do that, right? Nobody's gonna do that. You have to be able to like be disciplined in your lifestyle. Of course, there are gonna be some times where you want to, have a sweet treat or whatever, and you just don't do it. If you want the fucking body and you want to feel and the confidence of having the goal that you want, you have to choose a better choice. That's just being an adult and like making these things that seem like sacrifices, which is like not having an ice cream when you're out or whatever, but really it's not a sacrifice. It's a blessing to be able to to be able to get the goal. You understand? For me, it's like I spent so much time of my life damaging my body and like doing drugs and not taking care of myself and not brushing my teeth and taking showers and, you know, eating trash. And today, you know, it's like I'm so excited about being able to take care of myself, and like being 38 years old and being recovered from substance use disorder and like living the life that I live. I'm excited and passionate about seeing how far I can push my body with health. Like how healthy can I keep myself, and like how far can I push my body? Like what could I actually create from my body? And like, you know, be 50 years old and still have a six-pack and like be jacked. Like fuck yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to see if I can do, you know? So like it's a get-to thing, man. And everything that I do with fitness in my life is the same shit as I do in recovery. Like, you know, I don't always want to get up and fucking go to the gym. I don't always want to hit the 20 minutes of cardio on the Stairmaster. I don't always want to, you know, be like saying no to myself with things that I want to eat, or like, dude, no, I don't. But what I want more is to be able to like look at myself in the mirror and be proud of all those little decisions that I made that were better for myself. Like that's what I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to look at myself in the mirror and know that all those little decisions created this. Right? It's the same. It's the same. Your feelings don't matter. Whether you felt like going to the gym or not, if you go and you do the same workout, you get the same result. Just like it doesn't matter how you want to do this step work or not. Do you want to sponsor this dude? Do you want to pick up this phone call? Do you want to do this service? It don't matter if you do or you don't. If you do it, you get the result desired. Period. So it's like, why am I paying so much attention to how I feel? Right? Like I'm not saying be dull completely to your feelings. Like be aware, but don't be driven by them. Don't be driven by your feelings and fear and resentment and fucking selfishness and all these things that we learn in recovery. It's the same shit. It's the same stuff, man. Like don't be driven by how I feel, you know? Like I need to, I get my cup full by the amount of output of work that I put out and my consistency. Like these goals, these things that seem like taboo to people, of like me prepping my food and always having my meals with me and like not missing a workout and you know. And what I mean by not missing a workout, I mean like if I'm sick or somebody's sick, I'm not like neglecting my responsibilities to go to the gym. I mean that if I have the ability to do so, I do it 100% of the time. And you know, people look at it as like it's this thing like I'm the one that's weird, you know? Like, no, I'm not on a diet. I'm eating to gain muscle or to change my body in a specific way that I want. Period. I'm trying to be conscious, and I don't want to eat shit out of a bag. And you know, I'm getting fed enough poison. I want to try to at least limit the amount of poison that I'm eating. This is me. Yeah. So I guess my rant is over. 15 minutes of me basically saying that all you have to do is be in a calorie deficit, but you got to know what a calorie deficit is. I can help you do that. Reach out if you want some help.